And I'm live. That is cool. Today is 2nd of December 2025, Tuesday. And with that, let's just begin. Advent of code, day 2. Yep. And the question is like already out for some time. Yes, it has been out for some time. And yeah, let's do the second question. And to decide which language we are going to use, we will do the spinner thing. 5174, let's go. Yep, and I have added a few languages. I added PHP. I have no idea about PHP. Haskell is here. Ruby is here somehow. OCaml is also here. And yeah, these four languages I have never written in before. And instead of just doing like singular spin and seeing which language this thing lands on and using that, we will do three spins, and whatever language the spin lands on the last will be the language we will be using for today. And yep, there's this little SVG in the tab. Okay. We'll do three spins and cool. Spin number one, and this lands on. Okay, C++. This would have been cool. Now spin number two. C++. I would have C++ would have been easy. Ruby, no idea how to write code, so we will have to look up everything. And now the last spin and the final spin and the language that we will go with. Okay, PHP. Okay, let's go. PHP. This will be cool. And should this is like almost JavaScript. And yes, if this would have landed on JavaScript, we wouldn't have done JavaScript because yesterday only I did the question in JavaScript. So yeah, not very cool. Okay, PHP. Yeah, PHP, shit. PHP, how do we even do anything in PHP? Learn next environments, of course. That was the place to go. Literally, shit. PHP, okay. PHP. Yeah, and we have all the time in the world to do this. Day two question in PHP. Shit, that is crazy. Hello, Dudendi. Hello, Archit Mishra. Long time no see. You were also yesterday here, but I did read the chat yesterday. And shit, that is C++ thing right there. I am a parent class. Okay, so see, PHP is object oriented. Okay, shit. Okay, PHP. Yes, we will go PHP. What even is PHP? Is it compiled or what? Enclosed. My PHP code must be enclosed in these tags. Shit, that is crazy. Okay, if you open PHP file, if your PHP file only contains PHP code, it is best practice to omit the PHP enclosing tag to prevent accidental out. The two forward slashes. Okay, shit, I think this is not a very good starting point. Learn PHP. PHP tutorial, or there might be PHP website. Yes, their own website. A simple tutorial would be cool. What is new? Documentation. Um, yeah, we can read the tutorial in Russian or Turkish, maybe. I had thought of doing it like this in day one in C, done, then C++. Shit. C is too manual. C is too manual. Shit. C, then C++, then D, then D++, then Go, and OCaml, Dart, Zig, Odin, Rust. Shit. I think I should also add Zig to the spinner. Ew, that's what you like about it. Shit, I have OCaml. I don't have Dart there. I don't have Zig. I think I can add Zig. That would be nice. Okay. What do we do? Here you would like to show a very basics of C PHP in a short example. Okay, where is the thing? these tags, you have to use these tags and okay, is PHP compiled or interpreted? Shit. PHP is like Java. Bytecode. It compiles to bytecode. Shit. And then the bytecode runs. Shit, that is crazy. Okay, shit. CLI library development, homebrew Mac OS. Yes. Okay, how does this thing know that I'm using Mac OS with homebrew? That is too much. This thing, yes, pasting random code from the internet. The best thing to do. Okay, then C3 after Rust. It is very intuitive and predictive. Yes, the order, I guess, is very intuitive and predicted. Okay, then C3. Wait, C3 is a language? Crazy. I wanted to try doing in Carbon too. COBOL, maybe also, I guess. But it is too unstable. Hello, the moderator is here. Way too much shit. Carbon, I have not written anything in Carbon. Try some functional language. Yes, Haskell is there. Elixir is not there, but Haskell is there in the wheel. Kotlin, perhaps. Not functional though, but better than Java. C is intuitive and predictive if you have spent time with C. Yeah, these are the languages I have here. PHP is the one we'll be using today. And PHP is here, so that is cool. And PHP, yes, PHP is here. And a little tutorial would be cool, but it is not here. Yes, there is a lot of background noise. My bad. Wait, let me fix it up in just 1 minute. Yep, I'll be right back. Just 1 minute. Yep, me audible again. See, don't you think you should perhaps do with the ones you know and then move to the ones you don't? Huh? Because you will have to learn it all, like for 2 days right now, do it in a language you know, then spend the day learning PHP and then do PHP tomorrow. Nah, we will just like the goal is not to understand the whole PHP thing, but just fun. And yes, we will use ChatGPT. Okay, or I really had no idea how to do this thing. Okay, mm, tutorials point. So PHP comes in this. Is there not a like standalone file for PHP? Uh, and then run it. Yeah. PHP version. Yes, I do have PHP. Create a PHP file like this. Hello.php. Echo hello. That is a bash command. Okay. and we don't have the like ending bracket here. Then PHP hello this, and you will see hello world. Okay, let's write hello world in PHP. Then and let me open 66 into 35, 70 into 3, 210. Yes, yes, 210, 2100 plus 2310, I guess. Yeah, languages, PHP, CD, PHP, not PHP, here, this thing, PHP, and then echo, hello, world, PHP, hello.php, and okay, we messed up somewhere. Okay, I think this, it does work. New line also. Okay, we do have hello world working, so that is cool. And there is run our PHP as our web page. This is going to be difficult. This is going to be difficult. This is literally going to be very difficult because we will have to read from a file and also store things in some data structure. Let's go. Got lead up to stand up call. Yeah. And you can also add jQuery. I guess PHP is difficult on its own, like as a starting point. And just try auto modifying. Okay. And how to make a variable in PHP, no rituals. But okay, like this. Oh, okay, ChatGPT has some information on me. Echo name. Why is this like bash? Except this part. We can multiply, right? And inside a string. Okay. We know how to make a variable. Okay. How to read file. How to run a loop in PHP. Let's print numbers from 1 to 10 in PHP. And okay, shit. Declare a variable equals 0 I while this, and this thing echo this dot. What is dot? A while loop, same syntax. Like, yeah, kind of the same syntax. Echo this. Hmm. We also have a do while loop. We also have a this loop, and we can have a array like this. Okay, and this as index value. Okay, what is this? If you want keys, okay, we have this a list, and for each fruits as fruit, print the fruit. And if you want keys for each fruits as index and value, so we have the index and the value. Loop inside HTML. Nah, should PHP is very ingrained with HTML. Okay, how to add new elements to a array in PHP. Okay, they are saying it is simple. Method this. Okay, we have an array apple banana, and okay, should wait, this has print r. Okay, let's use this hello.php, and this list equals apple banana and list equals mango and print r, and yes, there is no LSP for PHP right now. Error, there is some error. Okay, semicolon, always the semicolon, and we will use some Vim thing here. Hello.php, and in our array we do have mango. That is a bit added a bit differently. Okay, mango like that. Okay, shit, makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, this by accident we created a array inside an array. If we remove this, okay, we can add an element into an array. How do we remove some element? Error or push, that is one more method, and we won't get into the details of how an array is stored on heap, on stack, and what are the things that are happening. Let's have a LSP, PHP LSP. PHP, and there is a match PHP tools. Okay. Right. PHP LSP, we need a LSP. It would be really cool to have a LSP. PHP actor was something that we did see. PHP actor, let's use PHP actor. PHP actor, okay, and installation. And yes, I'm not using Mason, so I will have to manually install the LSP. So my OCD for streaming config gets resolved. Okay, I will do that on like Discord. I mean, website were written in .php files with HTML syntaxes sprinkled onto it, so it isn't surprising. Oh, yes, it is even using BR tag for new line, which is crazy. Okay, how do we install this like this? Then make it an executable link somewhere in your path. Chmod manual installation. Wait, maybe I can just do install PHP actor, and okay, it does not. PHP storm does exist if that is a thing. No, that is not a LSP. Yeah. Arch Linux, nope. Is on GitHub latest releases. Uh, Okay. PHP or actor, change this thing, change it and make it a executable. Move this to some place in the path. Chmod. Yes, and shit, this even has a elephant here. This thing, that is cool. Okay, this is now an executable. Let's execute the executable. Okay, it is somehow working. Okay. PHP actor, and where is Clandy? I will put this at the same place. Shit, it is in homebrew. Path, copy ph actor to slash opt and walrus. Yes. Sudo for copy PHP actor slash opt slash walrus and the password, and cool. And now this should work except for the fact I have to enable this from The plugins. LSP enable PHP app. I think that is what we had to do. Yeah, Vim enable PHP app. Cool. And now hello.php and LSP info. LSP is not running. LSP is running, is not executable. Configuration will not be used. Okay. There is no LSP support. Is not executable. Should be an executable. CD slash opt slash walrus. This is an executable and this is also in the path. But this thing is also in the path. If I do echo uh, walrus, yes, this thing is in the path like twice. Do I have to change the name? Installation. Shit, okay, remove the dot par thing. Um, move PHP actor, and now we should be cool. Hello.php and obviously info and it's is this thing running? Yeah, this is not running. Okay, whatever. Yep. The LSV is not running, but okay. For D2, yep. PHP, I can barely do CPP after years of not working. Had to Google a lot of stuff. Yes, we always have to Google. Do a file command on that and see what type. What is the type? What is its type? It is type for executable, binary executable. That is cool. And Vim is also not giving any error now. But why is this saying no LSP clients? PHP app should enable, and the default settings are also good. The name of the file types PHP, command, these are the defaults, so that is good. Maybe it is, yeah, I think it is not able to find a root marker, but still this should have at least a run. Workspace required. I think if I do a git init, this might work. Or composer.json, or yeah, let's make this file. Yeah, and empty hello.php. Yes, it is running now. Okay, so LSP is running and not really. Okay, let's get a basic version of this thing by ChatGPT. Okay, shit. We can just copy paste this thing. No, nothing bad with that. Do you feel? Wrist pain while coding. I don't code that much, but yeah, sometimes when I code the pain, the wrist, and should I think you can get a custom keyboard or something like that. The same thing that Prime Engine did. Hello.php, and what is this? Okay. That could be used for arbitrary code execution. Do you trust the file? Yes, I do trust the file. Okay. There is still no error. The LSP is running, but there is no error. Okay, that is like a side quest. Let's write the main code. PHP and list equals apples and banana, and adding new things to this list is kind of easy. Manage, and let's iterate through this for, I think it was as syntax for a for loop. It's as for each we have to use for each loop, not for. Should there is some error that, okay, yes, LSP is running, LSP is running. Unidentifiable list should be identifiable. We just created the thing. This thing is also fine. Yeah, cool. Okay. Yeah, let's go. It is running, and for list as item echo item with a semicolon and no error. If I remove the semicolon, there is an error. Okay, LSP is also running. PHP, hello PHP, and there was no line, no new line, so we messed up. Echo item new line, maybe. PHP, hello PHP, yes, it does run, so that is good. And now we need to know how to read a file. We haven't even begun solving the question, but let's see. This is the input. And let's write a file. Hello, hello from a file text.txt and cat text.txt, hello from a file. Let's read this file reader.php. Let's read this. File in PHP. How to read a file in PHP? Let's go. Hello, good morning. Uh, whatever is searching for some file in the root directory. Yeah, for like Python LSP to work, it generally needs a toml. Yeah, the which marks the root directory. Yeah, that was the thing. Now it is here, so it is working. Content file get contents from data.txt. So that is very easy. That is very easy. What are the different data types in PHP? PHP's data are surprisingly simple on the surface. Integer with no indication as to what type this thing is. Integer, float, string, hello, and single or double quotes, anything. Boolean, array, list, map is like this. Okay, that is crazy syntax. A hybrid like JSON something, object oriented. PHP is cool. PHP is cool. We can write a website in Laravel. Null means null. Fopen, older PHP thing. FP is a file descriptor, I guess, file handler. Okay. Callable shit. Functions are, what is this called? Functions are high order functions, or yeah, something like that, where we can pass in functions as arguments to functions, to other functions. Yes. Function test and shitty. There is no main function in PHP. It is like a scripting language. That is cool. Okay. Okay, we can read a file now. Read from the same file, get contents. Okay. Pass in the name of the file, which is in the same folder, text.txt with a semicolon. And we can even see the definition. Reads entire file into string. Okay. File name, function. Yep. Okay, we use the function keyword to define a function. File name, use, include, path, whatever. Okay. And let's go file with a semicolon. File reader.php and hello from a file. That is cool. And I do not want to quit Vim every time that I want to run a PHP file. So let's make a key map for this. I have a key map for relive and stuff. We will use something similar. Space py, run a Python file, and we'll make this say if I type leader PHP, split the screen, and instead of this use PHP and run the PHP file. Yeah, that is cool. Hello.php, and now if I am in a PHP file, I can just press space PHP and the file runs here. That is cool. And file reader PHP. Cool. I think we can now go to actually writing and add on the code. Day 02, right? And this or text.txt space and quit in part1 dot PHP and question mark PHP. Okay. Data is get file. Get file content was the name of the function, I think. File get contents. That is just something crazy. Okay. Crazy naming. Well, I know key maps, but what is a macro? Macro in is like you are storing a sequence of Vim keystrokes and you can run them as a single command. Right? That makes sense, I guess. See the instruction in a register, usually queue, and then execute it again and again. Yep. File get contents text.txt and then echo data space PHP, and we messed up. Now Yes, here we can use a Vim macro, but we can simply use the dot command also. Control A to go at the end of the line, semicolon, quit, go back, and then the dot command to repeat the last command, which was Control A and semicolon. Okay, and the curious case of Benjamin, the curious thing to notice here is that we have a new line here. Think we would like to remove that new line. Okay, read only if file exists. We won't go into error handling. Okay, let's read a question. You get inside and take the elevator to its only other stop, the gift shop. Thank you for visiting the North Pole, gleefully exclaims a nearby sign. You aren't sure who is even allowed to visit the North Pole, but you know you can access the lobby through here, and from there you can access the rest of the North Pole base. Okay, that was very relevant, I guess. As you make your way through the surprisingly extensive selection, one of the clerks recognizes you and asks for your help. As it turns out, one of the younger elves was playing on a gift shop computer and managed to add a whole bunch of invalid product IDs to their gift shop database. Surely it would be no trouble for you to identify the invalid product IDs for them, right? Yep, no problem. They have even checked most of the product IDs ranges already. They only have a few product IDs, your puzzle input, that you will need to check. Okay, for example, this. A bunch of product IDs separated by comma and no comma at the end. The ID ranges are wrapped here for legibility in your input. They appear on a single long line. The ranges are separated by commas. Each range gives first ID, last ID separated by a dash. Okay, we have a bunch of products from in this range 11 to 22, both inclusive or something. Since the young elf was just doing silly patterns, you can find the invalid IDs by looking for any ID which is made only of some sequence of digits repeated twice. So 5 5 5 twice, 6 4 6 4 twice, 1 2 3 1 2 3 twice would all be invalid IDs. Shit. Okay. None of the numbers you leading have leading zeros. Like this thing isn't an ID at all. 101 is a valid ID that you would ignore. Your job is to find all of the invalid IDs that appear in the given ranges in the above example. In this, 11 is invalid, 22 is invalid, and everything in the middle is valid. In here, 99 is invalid. In here, 999 is fine. 999 is fine. 1010 is invalid. In here has one invalid ID. And okay, why do these ranges only have at max one invalid ID? Repeat. Okay, shit, this is easy to find out. Yeah, this is easy to find out. Yep, by repeating. Yeah, by repeating they. Okay, so we split the thing in two parts and both the things should repeat. Okay, okay, and we can just. Yeah, okay. Adding up all the invalid IDs in the product produces this. This plus this plus this. All of these invalid IDs added to each other. What do you get if you add up all the invalid IDs in your puzzle input? Okay, we need to first of all get the IDs, the ranges split. We have to split these at commas. How to do that in PHP? Hmm. There might be a function like in JavaScript or Python, but Yeah, I think there is likely a function for this. Straightforward. Explode this thing, and we get the parts. Parts is an array. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. And we will or split string into to get the characters. Okay, that is also something we can do. Okay, and then we can for on this thing we want to remove the last. We also want to remove spaces. ChatGPT is making this very easy. We can use regex if you want to. That is cool. Explode. Yeah, we will use explode. Remain string and PHP. Just the trim function. Okay, that is crazy. And this is not object oriented. It is not that we are calling. Okay, because these are not objects. I think these are variables, normal variables in PHP. Okay, use this thing, trim, and can we use the same name later? Trim. Yep, and I guess there was no new line here. Okay, after trimming, ranges equals explode. Explode takes in a string as the second argument, and the first one is the separator. Separator is a comma, and the string is data, and then print ranges error somewhere on line 6. Echo cannot echo array. Print r prints human readable information about a variable. Still error semicolon. Of course, always the cause of error, and we have the ranges. That is cool. Let's use the not this data, but this one for testing purposes. Should I remove the line my bad. Okay, cool. We do have the ranges, and we will split these for each. We need a for each loop, and okay, ranges for each ranges as index and v value. Okay, and we will do ranges I. Can we do that? Let's see if this is working on. It is not. Line 8. There's something wrong with this. How to index an array. Yes, should have worked. Maybe Echo does not know about this. We have printf somehow. Okay, what is the error? Uncaught. Oh, okay, shit. Okay, now it is working. Cool. I guess you can also use echo with this now. Yes, we can also use echo. That is nice. We'll do ranges I will become equal to array will become equal to explode. We will explode on this hyphen the value. Print r ranges PHP and there is error semicolon print r PHP. Okay, that is cool. And to just I think uh these things 11, 22, these are not integers, these are strings, so we will have to do something about that. Big fan. What's up? Hello. Subster we can use is dot find to get the dash. We don't want to get the dash. That is how I did it. Shit. PHP. Yes, I'm using in PHP. Low. C++ seems so much simpler. Yeah, and C++ has a lot of new things, not a lot of cool things. C C is very manual. Mm. Okay, we can explode. And how do we convert? Convert string to int in PHP. Type casting, simple enough. Okay. Okay, this explode has two things. Ranges I 0 equals int int the same thing. Hmm. Substitute 0 with 1. Okay, and now hopefully these numbers are integers. Okay, now we do have integers. We don't even have to store them. We can just find out the final answer. Response equals 0, semicolon, semicolon. Okay, and print f response as it turns out is percent %d if we can use this. Yeah, cool. It is working. Now we okay. What do we have now? We have skill draw. Okay, check on this. Uh, we have now two numbers. This number and this number. Yes, these are numbers. These lines. One number x and y, and yeah, for we have to see how many numbers between these two are like we can split them in the middle and they form the same thing. So for that, the number of digits would have to be even. That is one thing. And shit, would it be helpful to keep this as a string? Because I think it would be easier to count the number of digits or characters in a string compared to a integer, but whatever. We'll see the number of digits in x, the number of digits in y. Odd, even, or whatever the combination is, it is easier to think in C++. Okay. Yeah, four possible cases: odd, odd, even, odd, even. When this is odd, this could be odd. When this is odd, this could be even. When this is even, odd, even, even. And also, if this is odd and this is odd, and the like they are both odd, but the number of digits are different. If this is one digit and this is three digits, both are odd, but there would also be two-digit numbers between them. So, yep. If a whole range of even numbers exists, let's say for all the four-digit numbers, one digit here, one digit here, one digit here, one digit here, we want to count all the numbers for which these two digits are equal to these two digits and how many possible combinations there are. 9, 10 different values for this one and 9 different values for this one. So answer would be 90. We can here at this position we can use any number from 0 till 9. That is like 9, 10 different numbers, and here we cannot use 0. So we'll have to go from 1 to 9. So that is 9 different possibilities, and if there were 6-digit numbers, we can divide that into groups of 3 digits. At the last place, you can have 10 different numbers, then 10, then 9. So answer here would be 900 different numbers, which we can split, which would be same, yeah, which we will have to add to our answer. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, accelero, yes. Now we have two different numbers, x and y. And yeah, I think I don't feel very good dividing the cases in this way, checking if it is odd, odd, even, 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 odd. We can divide the whole thing into two different parts. Yeah, there would be ranges like this. Uh, when we are considering all of the numbers with a certain count of digits, all of the numbers with a certain count of digits. Yeah, ranges like that. Like if we are counting all the numbers with 4 digits, which adhere to this like law, where we can split the number from the middle and we will get mm, two similar numbers on either sides of the number, of the original number. If we can do that, yes, so that would be one case, and then there would be border cases. For example, if our range is from 1 to 111, so here this is going to include all of the two-digit numbers. So yeah, we have ranges like this, but then we also have ranges like this. If we began from 11 and go till 22, here we are including two-digit numbers, but only two of them, 11 and 22, which are the correct numbers, which we'll be counting. Let's go. Damn, PHP. PHP is good. Shit, bro is very busy. Bro is multitasking. We skip all the odd digit numbers. Yes, we don't care about the odd digit numbers. Yeah, we can write this in a graph. One digit numbers, two digit numbers, three digit numbers, four digit numbers, five dot 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 dot. In case the maximum is 10 digit numbers, of that it is just 1 billion. That is too much. And we don't care. Graph is 0. Graph is here. For two digit numbers, there are 9 different possibilities: 11, 22, 33, 44 till 99. For three digits, nope, nope. For four digit numbers, there are 90 different possibilities. For five digit, nothing. For six digits, there are 900 possibilities. So this is exponential graph, kind of like this. Mm, Okay. How count length of a string in PHP. Let's go. Sterling. Why is PHP this easy? PHP is easy. When was PHP created? In 1995. This is like younger than Python. Okay, let's use Sterling. Can we deconstruct or destruct an array in PHP? Array destruction. List. Yes, yes. Yes, this is what we want. So instead of making this equal to ranges, we will do list start n and yep echo start from start till end PHP, and also a new line would be very much appreciated. Uh, okay, yep. We are getting the ranges. That is cool. That is cool. Okay. Um, yeah. Count first Sterling. How many digits are in the starting range and end? How many digits are in this? We have the digits. Yep. Yep. And okay. If how do we add if? I guess just this thing. If what do we check? Something in should be in this. N is greater than Pn star. Okay. Echo Pnt n minus start and this thing. We messed it up. That is not good. I guess a bear do this. Okay, no. Or maybe without this thing. Okay, shit. How do we give a new line? Using BR. ChatGPT was doing this. Get context. Yep. Get file. File get contents. This is just a crazy name for a function. Yep. Like this. Echo fruit. This is what we were kind of doing. Not working. Hmm. We have the same thing. Echo something dot br or new line. New line does work. Okay. Okay, if end is greater and else in here. Okay, if end has different things. Okay, and there could be different cases. Yep, we can run a loop here. We will count all. Shit, inclusion, exclusion. Yes, we will use in inclusion, exclusion. We skip all odd digits. Yes, we do skip all odd digits, and we will use inclusion, exclusion. Like for we have 11 and 22. So we will count all the numbers which satisfy our range in this range from 1 to 11, and all the numbers which satisfy our thing in 0 to 22, and we'll subtract this number from this number, and we'll get all the numbers which satisfy our thing in this range. So we need to make a function which takes in a single integer. Yes. Shit, this approach was very stupid. Counting, yes, this was very stupid. Finding if the things are odd, even, going into different cases, that is just overcomplication. Okay, how to write a function in PHP? Function. That makes sense. Give answer. And this takes in n. Okay, this is working. Do we do not have a return, so how do we return? Write a function in PHP. Ret Return is there, okay. And we do not have to specify what are the types of the parameters. Okay, into 2. Okay, for each, we don't need this any longer. Let's say echo give answer for cnts plus cnt n dot a new line. Shit, I think that is how we append two different strings using a dot. Hmm. Yes, that is working. We have 8. 8 is not correct. 8 should I, no, 8 is not correct. We would have passed into the function cnt plus start plus end. Makes sense because these things are not integers, these are strings. And shit, yes, cnt, we are giving in the count of numbers. So yeah, this is correct. This is correct. CNTS is 2, CNTE is also 2. 2 plus 2, 4. 4 into 2, we get 8. Okay. We don't need these CNT things, and LSP is working. That is cool. Okay. We will say start equals end start, end equals end end start plus PHP, and yes, there we go. 11 plus 22 is 33. 33 into 2 is 66. Shit. Mm. Oh, using mouse in Vim is blasphemy. My bad. Okay. We have start and end, and we just have to implement this thing. Here we will do answer plus If we can use plus equal to, we will have to see answer plus equal to give answer for n minus give answer for start. And we cannot use plus answer is nothing. We can use plus equal to, that is cool. Okay, you just have to make this thing implement correctly. Okay, comment and yeah, in for our answer we will have n is not included. N is not included, and we find the answer in the range 0 to n, n not included. Okay, if n is not included, so that is good. Instead of n, we will have to say n plus 1. Oh, and let's also get some error. If end and start are not integers, if they are strings and we are doing a string plus 1 and a string multiplied by 2, I guess we will have some error. We do not have some error. We do not have some error. That is string plus 1. Let's complete the implementation for this function. Hydration break. Just 5 to 10 minutes. Shit. Nothing. Nope. Not much. Okay, we have a function and this will give us the answer for the range 0 to n minus 1. No, we do not have to do start minus 1 because start is not included here. Yeah, start is not included here. So when we are subtracting this thing, minus start, we are not subtracting this number which is in the start. That is cool. For step length of n, okay, that is good. Echo Sterling. Sterling for these two numbers was 2, 2, 2, 2, and should have been 2 and 3, 2, 2, but we see 3, 2 because we are calling end first and then this. Okay, cool. Okay, so Sterling is working fine even on our integer, but why do we see 0? Uh, let's give some line 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2 for this pair, then for this pair, for this pair we see 4 and 3, which is also correct, 4 and 3, and for this pair they have already 10 digits somehow. Yes, they do have 10 digits, so okay, that is good. Okay, we can use strlen on a number. We will have a loop for I equals 0, where I is the digit, I smaller than strlen n and I plus plus. If or plus I equals I plus 2. Yeah, so it is always even For 0, we don't have anything. Yes, for 0, we do not have anything. Right. And we will also have response equals 0. We can say start from 2, right? Right. And the last case will be handled at the after this loop. And by last case, I mean if our number is 4 digits, is 4 digit long, then we will add all the numbers which are correct, whose length is 2 digits. But for 4 digit numbers themselves, we are not including all of the 4 digit numbers, so we will have to handle that after this loop. So here this plus equals add tourist tourist and equals 0. Nope. Think this should be 9. Yeah, 9. Rest plus equals add, and after this add multiply by equal to 100 for, yep, initially add for a 2 digit number there are, or instead of add, I guess, substitute add with current. Okay, cool. Currently for the current value of I, there are 9 numbers, or current amount of numbers which are like same, and when we split them from the middle, which are same. And yep, cool. And for every 2 digit step in I, we increase that by 100, because yeah, there are 2 more places and those places can have 10 different values each, so into 10 into 10, which is into 100. And here return response. And now for the edge case, for the case if there are 2 digits in n itself, then for n, how many numbers are like, yeah, are okay, how many numbers are okay here. Hmm. For 10, hmm, there must be a way by which we can skip iterating through all the numbers. Shit, the maximum half number that we can get is 5, because the maximum length of a integer that we will be taking in is 10, and half would be 5, and for 5 there are 5 into, or 5 e4, 9, yeah, 9e4 different possibilities, which is easy to loop through. We can just start from the smallest number and we can loop through all of these numbers. Yes, and the smallest number that is like that follows something is going to be 100. For a 2 digit number, we will go through all the one-digit numbers starting from 1, and whenever we are at a current number, we will take that number and make a copy and add it to its right or left or whatever, and we will get this number, and we will compare this number with n. And if this current number is smaller than n, is smaller than n, then we will increase our response by 1, and if it is not smaller than, either equal to or greater than n, in that case we'll just return the current value of n. Okay. 1 into 10 into sterling um yeah, string length n divided by 2, string length n, and we will only do this if n is odd. Yeah, if sterling of n odd. How do we see odd and even? That should that is somehow a valid syntax. This thing is not equal to 0 or equal 0. Okay, that is cool. What is that? 1 into 10 into how many digits? Sterling of n divided by 2 minus 1. Should this might we need power. Yes, we need power instead of multiplying, because this thing can become equal to 0, and we do not want 0 to be multiplied with 1. And this would only be 0 if n equals 2. Power exponential. Okay, there is a power function. Power, base, and exponent. Okay. 1 into power base is 10, and the exponent string length of n divided by 2, this thing minus 1. That is right. Yes, that is the smallest number. And while I is smaller, I is smaller than n plus plus. Not I smaller than n, but I think that is valid. That might be valid, might not be valid. Okay. For this, okay, I think we are good to go. Answer turns out to be 9, and is 9 the correct answer? Huh? Should we have to add? Okay, we do not have to count all of these numbers, we have to add them. We do not have to count them, we have to add them. This power function precisely for high values in PHP. It gave wrong answer for mine, so I made shit. You are working in PHP? That is also crazy. Is power function precise for, wait, is it not precise? And shit, we have to add all of these values. we have to add all of these values, which is fixable for this. Shit, but for this, yes, I don't think there is a pattern. If we add all of the two-digit numbers, like 11 plus 22 plus 33 plus 44, and all of the two-digit numbers where both the digits are same, and all of the four-digit numbers where the first two and the last two digits are same, and there, I don't think there is a pattern we can exploit. 1 plus 2, 2 plus. What do we have? Essentially, we have sum of 1 till 9 into 10 power 0 plus 1 dot 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 till 9, which is just in this case. Or okay, okay. Sterling. I equal to this thing. Okay, and yeah, right. We'll just say okay. I beginning from two-digit numbers. I is the current length, right? And right, okay. For int, we can remove current from here. Current, the smallest I digit number would be I is the number of digits that we are considering, and we want all the I the smallest I digit number. No, no, shit. Begin this from smaller than equal to sterling divided by 2. Yep, yep, that is kind of correct. Yeah. So all shit. When I equals 1, and let's say length of n divided by 2 is, let's say, 1 and 2. So we'll add all of the one digit numbers, which is we don't have to write a loop. We can just use n into n plus 1 by 2, and but we do not want to add all of the one digit numbers. What we want is one digit numbers, multiply them by, okay, let's say we have a, I am not being very clear with what I'm doing. Hello. Tackling this in evening. Have fun solving this. Yep, we are having so much fun. C++, so that's why I'm asking for PHP. Yeah, I think it is fine. It's C++, it is not precise. The power function is not precise in C++. Okay, because of uh, overflow. We can write a binary power function or something. Okay, what we have, let's say we will have the sum of all of the two-digit numbers. Okay, let's say Rn is of length 5, and to be more precise, let's say n is this. What is this? 10,000, and we are considering all of the four-digit numbers, which are where the first two and the last two digits are same. Let's say we just consider two of these digits a two-digit number, and yeah, we can make the first two-digit number anything, and we can just say that the second one is also same, right? And we will add all of the two-digit numbers, all of the two-digit numbers that are two-digit and not one digit. We do not want to add 01 and 02 till 09. We want to start adding at 10. Let's say we do somehow find the sum of all of these two-digit numbers, which starts from like 10, which is easy to do. We can find using n into n plus 1 divided by 2, where we can say n is the largest two-digit number, which is 99. We can put n equals 99, and the smallest two-digit minus the smallest two-digit number, which is, or the largest one-digit number would be more correct. Yeah, the largest one-digit number, which is 9, and subtract this from that. Okay. So we will have the sum of all of the two-digit numbers. Let's say that the sum is x. What we want is we want to find the sum of these numbers where the first two digits are something and then the second two digits are something. And to do this, x and 2 is the length, or 2 is the number of digits. We can multiply x multiplied by 10 raised to the power 2 plus x, which is x multiplied by 10 raised to the power 2, the number of digits, plus 1. Okay, and the maximum value for this 2 is going to be 5, because we will not have a number that is longer than 10 digits. This is doable. This is doable. Yeah, yeah. We won't have to use a loop. We can just use this thing, and this formula was given to us by Gauss. By Gauss. Bro, I can tell you a way to do if you don't do it using inclusion, wait, without using inclusion, exclusion, how would we do this? I'm going to use inclusion, exclusion, and yes, you can also tell your thing. We will try to implement that also. Okay, I digit. Yep. And for the last digit, shit. I know this. Yes, cool. Is equal to 0 and smaller divided by 2 and 5 plus plus. For the edge case, here we go. And instead of res plus plus, we'll do res plus equals I currently is half. Yes, I currently is half, and yes, what we want is I into 1 plus 1 plus I into 1 plus power of 10 raised to the number of digits in I. Let's go. That is handled, and for smaller values of I. Yep. Here we go. We won't start with 0. That is, yeah, does not make sense. For yes. Yeah. We'll use this approach, which I didn't explain correctly, or like, yeah. I tried the add-on of code first question as I had forgotten DAC kind of completely and turned off AI assistant. Yo, man, I was so frustrated at last. I actually read the question wrong. That does happen. Check it out later. Yo. Yep. Question 2 is cool. Question 2 today is cool. Question 1 today is cool. technically this would be the third question, because there were two questions yesterday. Whatever. Okay. I equals 1 and it's sterling while I is smaller. Right. First, we'll have the sum, which we were representing in x draw by x, and this would be equal to n into n plus 1 by 2, where n would be the largest number shit the largest number in which the number of digits are the same as I. Yes, there are I number of digits in that. So we want I times 9. Okay. You want I times 9. How do we do that? Loop, I guess. Can we do this without a loop? If I is, let's say, I is 2, we want 2 nines. We want 99. Can we do this without a loop? I guess not. There might be a function in in PHP where we can say I want the character 9 I number of times, and then we can convert that string into an integer. That would be cool to do. Wait a minute. So how to how to create a string in PHP with count of characters. I think char count. MB, uh, hello world in Chinese. Okay. Ni hao. MB sterling. Nah, I guess we will have to use a loop. MB sterling. This function is crucial in dealing with multibyte. No. Nope, nope, nope. Counting characters. Nope. Okay, I guess we'll have to use a loop then, and we will say int r number initially is equal to 0, right? And we will go through a loop, or let's say empty string. It is equal to an empty string, and for j equals 0, yes, j smaller than I, j plus plus num plus num equals num dot. Okay, num should be cool to go. All right, and x would be equal to num into bracket num n into n plus 1 divided by 2. And from this we have to subtract one number, and that would be num minus 9 divided by 10. Okay, num minus equals 9, or I don't know if, yes, doing minus 9 is good. Like if we have 99, we want to remove 9 and get 9. We can remove do minus 9 and then divide by 10 to get 9, and we can avoid, or like I don't want to do direct 99 divided by 10 because this might lead to float. or maybe not. Let's see. Num equals, we can convert this explicitly into an integer, and num divided by 10, and x minus equals this same thing. Okay, we have the sum of all the I digit numbers which are like this. Okay, okay. Now what we want is a response plus equals, yep, response plus equals. Shit, this is crazy. Yes, yeah, and then change. Yes, this is exactly what we did now. That is cool. First, I store start and end as integer, then use a while loop for start smaller than end. Then I check if start digit is odd, even. If it is, then so you are just going through the range. The largest number that we have is 10 digit long, and yeah, so what is the time it is taking? Wait, are you going through all of the numbers? All of should Are you going through all of the numbers? Like if the starting number is this, do you start your loop at this and go till your current number is smaller than this? Because that is a lot of numbers. It would also depend on how big these ranges are, like this number minus this number minus this number minus this, the sum of all the ranges which we can check. If that is not too much, then yeah, this will be cool. Then I use for loop count divided by 2, count s cnts starting divided by 2 minus 1 to this thing, and add all of the numbers which are in the range. Okay, shit. I don't get the second part completely. Okay, we are doing this. Okay, something for this int x into power 10, 10 raised to the power I, 10 raised to the power I, which is correct. Not comma. Why would we have comma? Plus one. That might be correct. Wait, we said earlier when we were just counting the number of numbers which are in the right range, it said 9. Do we have 9 numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not really. We don't have 9 numbers. Hmm. 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 Answer turns out to be 495, which is completely wrong. Yes, this is wrong. Comment, and we will call our function give answer for, let's say, 12, and here echo %i with a new line. Okay, we are not going into this loop, which is kind of right. 1. which is right. Okay. Now we should be good. Now we should be good. Messed up somewhere. The float, this minus 20 is not representable as an integer. Not representable as an integer, I guess, because of num overflow. Num overflow. Line 35. This line, okay, shit, response is negative. Before returning, echo the response. 33 is, wait, 33 is not good. 33 is correct. 33 is correct because the first input was 22. So 11 plus 22 and 33 is correct. And yeah, 33 is correct, but what uh, for this one somehow we are getting a very, very negative number, and also for these two right here. Okay, these two are very big positive numbers, and this one is also a very big positive number. 8. Yep. I will be right back. I have to go to the washroom. I'll be right back in 1 minute. So keep checking if the number found are within the range or not. They are they are within the range. Yep, they are within the range. I'll be right back. And I'm back. I finished already. What are you doing? Shit, my bad. I am late. I guess PHP. Shit, in the leaderboard, you are above me now. Shit. Yo, bro is at top. Okay. Yes, sir. Something is not right here. Yes, this is correct. Let's also see what the inputs are for These cases n should with a little bit of space for 20 wait, yes, 23 was the input. For 23, answer is this. Answer is like some crazy value for this number. Okay, and wait, why is the answer so big for this number? This is odd digit, and there are three digits, which is odd, and yes, here also the number of digits is odd, and the answer is crazy in both of these somehow. If yes, if square length of n and 1 equals 0, you can do this. Shit. Gosh, did you check for all the numbers? You will have to because I guess there is no pattern here. Maybe yes, maybe there is. We don't check all the numbers. Convert to string split by length by 2. Yep. And then you will have to check for second part. For second part. If n has odd digits, only then go through the whole thing. And for 95, why is the answer 0 for 95? 95 should not be 0. Shit, if remember with yeah, we do have some. Wait, now maybe the answer is correct actually. 12277. Yeah, 12277 777 555 4 That is correct. Let's go. PHP. Answer turns out to be this number. YIW. Okay, let's go. You are correct. Okay, shit, that is correct. And shit, maybe the second part for this might be crazy. Trick by the way, BMW. Okay, continue to part 2. Read the part 1. Now part 2. Okay. The clerk quickly discovers that there are still invalid IDs in the ranges in your list. Maybe young elf was doing other silly patterns as well. An ID is invalid if it is made only of some sequences. If the digits repeat at least twice. Shit. Are all invalid. Okay. Shit. 99111. 3 times 10 and 1185 1185 shit 565656 824 824 824 high values of 10 or something. I guess going through all of the numbers would be easier, and yes, in this case, it would be easier to implement. And would it be feasible though? Let's see. We can see if it is feasible or not. Instead of calling this function, we can just uh, output the range res plus equals n minus star. Res is nothing. Okay, we can surely go through all of these numbers, and there is not a lot of numbers. I checked every digit. For every digit, I split them from 1 to length by 2, and if in case the number was silly, I added it to the final answer. Starting digit is 4 digits, so I did. Okay, you are going through numbers by 2 minus 1. Yes, yes, till not minus 1, and check if the number formed is within the range or not. Odd digits 2. Okay, we cannot just split from the middle. That is part 1. Part 1 done. Part 2 dot php. Select all, paste, and give answer. And we are fundamentally changing the approach here. Think instead of going through all of the numbers, we can not. We don't have to go through all of the numbers. If n, the size of n is like 2, not silly, but then this, which is silly. Yes, it is silly. For a 2-digit number, it could be, yeah, let's say we will go digit by digit. Shit, no, but still, if n is, and yes, inclusive, exclusive is something that I'm using here. I think using it is cool. Using inclusive, exclusive is cool. Here, the current length of the number is I, and yeah, Sterling is even. Nope. We can remove this thing. Right. And we will start from the smallest number in this range, and we won't be dividing by 2. We won't be dividing by 2. But shit, this is even worse. Yeah, this is worse. This is not. Yeah, going through ranges start would till end would be better. This is silly. Splitting by 1. Digits can be odd, but the number of digits should not be odd. And where is the leaderboard? And then something. Shit, you have done both of the questions, but yeah, I'm at the top. Let's go. Okay, I also have to do this one now. Okay. Okay, yeah. For simplicity, we'll just go through start till end. This takes in S and end. Let's say for now it is just returning start and minus start and hmm line number 9, which is this function give answer takes in two arguments. We are not passing it two arguments. That is correct. First is start, so start, and second is end. Yeah, we can go through all of these, this many numbers. X equals 0, right? And for I equals start, which is inclusive, I smaller than equal to end, I plus plus return rest, right? So we have a number and we have to check if it is Lee or not. And this could only be divided up into if there are, let's say, 5 digits in this number, it can only be divided into its factors. Yeah, let's call this X. Substitute I with X. For int I equals 1 digit number, I would mean yeah, Sterling of end, not end, Sterling of X. Yes, these are, yeah, the number of splits we can do. We cannot split into two, into just one part, that is just the number itself. We can split into 2, 3, 4, 5 or whatever, and I equal to the length is also one thing. Okay, we have I number of splits. The minimum number of splits we can have is 2. We should have is 2, right? And to find out if we can split x remainder, if x remainder I if there is no remainder, yes, we can split x into I different parts, and we need to see if these I parts are equal to each other, for which we need another loop. Shit, yes, for which we do need another loop. uh, j equals 1, let's say j is equal smaller than smaller than I and j plus plus. And we'll see if the jth substring is equal to the 0th substring, and if that is true for all of them, then yeah, then we are cool. Possible equals false, yes, false. And yeah, if jth substring, how do we make a substring out of a number? Substring in PHP, subster 6. For x, start from 0, get the length would be length would be shape size of x divided by I. This thing equals substitute compare. Wait, there was a compare function. What does the thing take? Haystack. Okay, whatever. Haystack is something. Binary safe comparison of two strings from an offset up to length characters. Okay. Haystack and needle. Shit, that is some metaphorical thing right there. We are finding a needle in the haystack, offset, length. I guess that is not something we can use because we want to give offsets in both the things. Okay. And if this thing is equal to in this, the starting point would be length into j. Length into j would be the starting point, and the length is length. They are not equal to each other, then false equal false and break initially, which should be true, and when we are outside, we'll see if false. Then, if possible, then response plus equals x, and again return the response. Errors. Line 17 is an error. How to compare two strings in PHP? Stir compare, or we could literally use equal to operator. Implicit conversion from float one. Who is float? And now the error is still online. Undefined constant j. We are using j. Yeah. Dollar. Answer turns out to be this for the final answer. Let's see what it is. Shit, I messed up. Okay. Let's see what it is for the test case. These. Turns out to be 50, and shit, that is not. Nope, that is not the right answer. We messed up somewhere. Hello, ma'am. Man, how are you doing? I am doing amazing. How are you doing, Hamiltonian? Shit, Hamilton. I do have some idea about Hamiltonian. The last time you were here, I had no idea what a Hamiltonian is, but shit, yeah, I do have some idea. It is for a quantum system, the total energy of the quantum system is called its Hamiltonian, right? Hamiltonian and path on dodeca dodecahed shit dodecahedron. Rank is going got a clear today. Work so okay. Split them. Okay, answer is not right. Answer is not. X starts at s, which is correct, and is smaller than equal to n, which is also correct, and x plus plus, which is also correct. And I is the number of substrings that we are breaking the current one into. If we can break up x into I different things, remainder should be 0, right? Let's say it is possible to do this, and the length would be size of x minus I divided by I, which is, yeah, how many things we are, how many substrings we are splitting x into. Convert that length into an integer, put j equals 0, and yes, what does this make? If we have x, which is, let's say, 10 digit long, and this is 1 0 1 0 1 0 dot 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 till 1 0. So yep, here j, if I equals 5, we can split x into 5 different substrings with the same length, and here we have these substrings of length 2, which is size of x divided by I 10 divided by 5, which is 2. So we have a lot of substrings, 5 substrings of size 2, and what this part of the code is doing is it is checking the jth string if the jth string is not equal to the first substring. That is what is being checked. And yeah, till the end. If every substring is equal to the first one, then all of them are equal to each other. Substring x starting from 0. Length. Yes, length is also correct. Is not equal to substring length into j to get an offset and length. And if they are not equal, then pause equals false and break. And if pause equals, do we have to do this? No, that was not the problem. Our answer is higher than the correct answer. 3 digits, 3 more. 10-digit answer is starting with 4, and this also is a 10-digit answer, but starting with 5. So our answer is higher than the correct answer. If pause equals true, only then break. And if the first substring is not equal to the jth substring, then possible equals false and break. I was there. I was there quite a lot. No, something is not right. Hello, opaque in Vim background streamer. Yes, opaque Vim background. It is not yet 2026, and any of Vim is PHP is cool. Okay, language wheel, please. 5174. Right here. Good. Let's go. Language wheel. Okay, PHP. PHP is, yeah, I guess. Yeah, it was meant to be. And now, oh, camel, let's go. Oh, camel is cool. Oh, camel is cool. I mean, I haven't written in oh, camel, but oh, camel is cool. 242 Pro. One of these things is not. Wait. Yes, j is smaller than I is okay. Yes, j is smaller than I. J has to be smaller than I. We are over adding the answer. Hmm. Hmm. I could I be one? No, I is never equal to one. I is always at least equal to 2. Mm, and we can divide x into I different parts. Yes, possible equals true, length equals length, j equals 1, j is smaller than I, right? There are I sub strings and we are going from the first one to the last one. We are not going through the zeroth one. And if the current substring is not equal to the first substring, then there is a problem. Possible is false and we break. Hmm. Hmm. We're getting the wrong answer. This is what we should be getting. Our answer is off by 900 million or something. Now, as when okay, whenever we see one valid ID, let's print it. Echo. So there's not C++, space and then new line, or simply a new line. Where is 11? Okay, we don't have 11 somehow. These are the numbers that we have. 11, 22, 11. Okay, shit, 110 should not be here. 111 is okay, but 112 is okay. We are messing up. We are messing up somewhere. 1010 is okay. And it seems like we are not considering the last digit somehow. Yes, what is this? And here also, these two numbers don't make sense. They should not be here. Okay, the logic is wrong. X is okay. Starting X at start is okay, and we are also giving in the input correctly. Start till the end. Yes. Start is the first argument and end is the second argument. While X is smaller than me, that is also correct. I equals to sterling. Okay. We are messing up in this part. If substring starting from 0, length, let's see, offset, string, then put a string. Yep. Return part of the string or false on failure for PHP 8. I guess we are using PHP 8 or higher. Only string is returned. Okay. Then put a string int if start is non-negative, the returned string will start the returned string will start at the start position in string counting from 0. Yes, that is okay. For instance, okay, that is correct. For length, maybe we are messing up with the length, int or null. If length is given and is positive, the string return will contain at most this many character beginning from start depending on the length of the string. Okay. If the length is given and is negative, the then that many characters will be omitted from the end of the string after the start position has been calculated when a start position is negative. Our arguments for this one is also are also right. In the string x starting from 0 for this whole length is the same for both of these strings. Let's say echo uh, echo substring x0 len yes dot space dot substr in x starting from I minus the last substring I minus 1 into length yes then into this thing a new line and here we'll have x with the space. Failure, fatal error. On line number 24, uncaught value of type int is not callable. Wait, okay, this thing is not callable. Value of type int is not callable on line 24. We are on line 24. Who is calling shit? Yes, my bad. Cool. To 22. Okay, this is clearly wrong. Let's also print I, percent I, and dot a new line. I was equal to 2. I was equal to 2. In this case also I was equal to 2. That is not exactly right. How did we even pass this part? Now it is right. Shit. We were dividing x instead of dividing the length of x. Shit. Okay, that was stupid mistake. Now answer is correct as it should be. And then we have 0, 9. Answer is not correct answer. Now our answer is lower. 437943. Okay, yes, our answer is a little bit higher than the correct answer somehow. Huh. Can you install extensions in Vim? Yes, and they are called plugins. Plugins are cool. Yes. Add Vim keybinds, Vim motions in VS Code in practice. Okay, so that was a stupid mistake, but still something is wrong. PHP and okay, these are correct. This one is also correct. Yes, cool. And we are adding the same number thrice. That is not very good. Huh? Makes sense. Okay, yes, makes sense. If this thing don't break. Now the answer will be correct. Answer 6 5 at the end and 6 5 at the end. Answer is correct. And PHP, and that did take some time. Okay, cool. Paste, and hopefully that is the right answer. You are one gold star closer. Let's see the leaderboard. Let's see the leaderboard. Darsparik. View. Yo. 14. I'm not that far ahead. You can catch up. Shit. Like Max Verstappen and Lando Norris. There's also API which we could use or something. Okay, so today we did use PHP. Let's do some crazy stuff in PHP right now. Can we do some crazy things in PHP? Let's write a HTML page in nah. Yeah, that is enough. If there is some recommendation for PHP, we'll do that, or we will end the stream. Git status, git add, right? Git day 2 in PHP, push origin 2025, and github.com add-on of code. Lang Okay, shit. This only shows languages in the like main branch, which is not very good. 2025. We have D1. D1 was in JavaScript, not very good. And day 2 is in PHP. Cool. And yeah, that would be it, I guess. Hello. Russell blundered at last. Shit. Bin Russell. Yeah. Explain leaderboard ranking, how it works. I don't know how it works. I will have to look it up. And then also test and see, can we use PHP to render static Yeah, that was the main goal. Okay, we'll see that. We'll make a hello world HTTP page. 9 10 points. So Lando has to come second. Now he has to come third to win. Wait, if Lando comes second, then no matter what anyone else does, Lando wins, yeah. But if Lando comes third and Max comes first, then Max will win. Hopium, Max will win. Yes, Max will win. Max Verstappen. True. Okay, normal HTTP PHP page. Match PHP. Okay, and in PHP, not in React. In PHP, we are looking for PHP. Echo print shit. Mixing HTML and PHP. Okay, this is what we do. Name is Alice and literally echo all of the lines. Hmm. Or we can write a HTML file in a basic HTML file. HTML template. Simple, very simple. Yeah. I don't remember how this tab. Yeah, that will work. Doc type, type of the document, then HTML language, head, body, cool, header, uh, my awesome website, my very awesome website. Welcome to my website. This is a basic page. Okay, let's do index.php. Yes, and here question mark PHP or HTML equals file get contents of dot slash index.html. Read the contents of this thing and echo the HTML. Okay, we do have our PHP which will render things. What do we do? The most basic method. Do we pass error? Question mark. We can add this. Nope, we don't want to add PHP inside the HTML. We want to put out HTML through the PHP. Yes, something like this. Data equals this. Render. Get the data. This thing with the data. This is our basic HTML page. And then, wait, no, shit. Those two are different things. Get a template engine. Without this, shit. Oh, okay. McLaren crash, please. You. If yeah, Lando for Max to win, Lando has to be third at maximum. If Lando is second or first, Lando will win no matter what Max does. Or what I guess their strategy could be is uh, Piastri can crash into Max and both of them would be out of the race, and then Lando Norris can be wherever he wants and he will win. ChatGPT. Uh, let's remember that. Through PHP. Browser receives. Extremely simple. Once you understand the core, PHP runs on the server. Outputs plain text, which the browser receives. Okay, parses as HTML. So you don't render HTML through PHP, you print HTML and the browser reads. Print. Okay, print. Put HTML directly into a .php file. That is the most basic thing. We say this thing. Okay. Then PHP, the program PHP, it can be used to run a PHP file, or and it can also be used to serve something. Okay. Go there, index.php, echo entire HTML. Yes, echo this thing like this. So if we do localhost this, this part, if I do this, then PHP server will start to run. How do I make a PHP file run and send to the browser whatever that PHP program outputs? Yes, how does a PHP file run and send its result to the browser? Start the PHP server, echo something, index.php. Okay, index.php will run in that place. Okay, so before I'm echoing this, let's say echo hello there. S, I think S localhost 8000. Hello there. That is very nice. It is running. Okay. Index, not just dot index.php, and data equals file get contents of dot hash not shit. This is crazy. That is some recursion right there. Echo data. Okay, shit. We don't see anything. Closing. We don't see anything here. Body is empty. Console nothing. This was the response. So why is the response not here on the screen? Still, okay, it is not here on the screen. And why do we have the JavaScript? PHP is somehow giving us JavaScript and a lot of JavaScript. Let's instead of this index.html maybe. Yes, that does work. So the browser. Shit. Okay, okay. We were not seeing the PHP code because I think because here we have these tags, this tag and this tag. So the browser was trying to open this thing and trying to parse this thing as HTML, and we wouldn't see something like this. Okay, cool. I guess now we should wait. Index.html, nope. PHP, no, we don't see anything. Yeah. So the browser is still trying to parse this thing. You can make a substring out of this thing. Substring is starting from, let's say, 5. Now we do see, I think. Okay, yeah, cool, cool. Amazing. And, and that is how we can render a page in PHP. Well known. This is very well known. App specific.com.chrome. Okay. So this PHP program, this is very big. This is also the compiler and interpreter for the PHP code that we have written. And yes, this PHP is converted into bytecode. So yeah, that is something. So this program has the compiler and interpreter for the PHP programming language, and also ability to serve as yeah to serve and yeah to start a server at some specific port, and whenever someone hits this port, this text is given, is sent back. Let's use, we can stop this, telnet localhost 88,000. TLDR, we'll use telnet to communicate with this PHP server. Host and space port 8000. We are connected. Accepted, closing and accepted. Okay. But we didn't see anything here. Hmm. Hmm. Let's use curl. Curl. Uh, do we get something? Yes, we do get the whole thing. Yes, that is cool. That is cool. But why were we not seeing anything in telnet? Connection was there, but whatever. Yep, that would be the end of today's stream. Yep, that would be the end of today's stream, and thank you for being here. We did PHP add-on of code, so that was cool. And yep, thank you for being here. Bye.